Welcome to the It Matters podcast. I'm your host, Walter Perez, and let's dive in as we help you grow your mindset and elevate your leadership. Hey, everybody, welcome back to the It Matters podcast. Thanks for joining me on another episode. And I wanted to bring you some thoughts today that I've actually been thinking for a while. And I want to help you on your leadership journey. And hopefully I can add some value to you today. And so I wanted to bring you a solo episode and get you thinking of this phrase that you're probably familiar with and you've heard before. And that is this idea of, hey, you need to work smarter, not harder. And this phrase I find very interesting because it's something that I'm like, actually, I think there's a little bit more to this and we need to dissect it a little bit. And so I wanted to bring you maybe another thought regarding this and encourage you on a different way to think about this. See, originally, this whole idea, I think, of working smarter, not harder, many, many years ago, it was used to promote higher education versus working in the trades. You know, you had to go to school and make sure that you're working smarter so then you can have a better quality of life, per se. And so, here, I'm not against higher education. I'm not against you going to school, but I don't think that there's a full picture here. I don't think it's as simple as saying, hey, you only need to work smarter and you need to forget about working harder. Like it doesn't mean that we have to put ourselves in a situation that you are stupid if you pick one or the other. And so nowadays, this whole phrase, I think, in our culture probably refers more to of like, hey, if you're working smarter, you're going to be more efficient and you're going to be more effective. And if you're thinking of it from the other perspective of if you're working harder and not smarter, you're only putting in time and effort. And what I find interesting about this phrase is that we if we don't have a good perspective on this, we do think there's only one way of doing this. There's only one way to think of this, and the other way is wrong, and the other way is going to not produce anything positive. And so, as I think about this, work smarter, not harder, I thought, well, why don't we work smarter and work harder as well? Why does it have to be looked at from a perspective of like it's one or the other? And why does it have to be only one way? And I want to caution this mentality of only looking to the one side because like you could be looking at it just from working smarter and the challenge with that is that, well, you think that, okay, well, if I work smart, I'm going to create it, life is going to be easy and I'm going to potentially create a way to just get rich quick, and just I need to figure out the best way to just kind of flow through life, and I don't have to put any effort in, and we may forget in that process that working hard can be essential, and so something that I did kind of read and kind of glanced at is that working smarter could actually lead to burnout just as working hard could. Because in a process of where you're trying to work smart and create these systems and create ways to be high performance and make sure that you are performing at a high level, high caliber, if it doesn't work, and as you're trying to solution seek all that and you're having all the challenges come your way, if it doesn't work, mentally, it could create some big anxiety and stress over you that you may not actually be able to handle. The same thing could be said about working harder, right? All you could do is just be putting the time and effort, putting your body through physical exhaustion and feel like you're not getting anywhere, or at least not moving fast enough, or multiplying your efforts. And so there can be pros and cons about both sides. And I really I really want to avoid this idea that, hey, we just need to always find the easy way out, or we need to find the path that is just gonna help us get to there with the least amount of work, the least amount of efforts, and so I can just coast the rest of my life. And so as I was thinking about this, and I'm like, okay, well, what can I encourage all of you? Maybe the idea is that there is a seasons in life where we're gonna have to work hard. We're gonna have to work hard, and we're gonna have to put some time, and we're gonna have to put some effort. We're gonna have to put some sweat equity into whatever we're doing. We're gonna have to go out there and make sure that we're working some extra hours, that we're actually prioritizing the work so it can actually not only get moving, but actually stay afloat and produce. But then there might be a season where we need to learn how to work smart, where we end up, putting in processes and policies and procedures and systems in place that will multiply our efforts. When we learn how to delegate and we learn how to bring a team on, and working smarter means that we're not the only go-to person, and we're not the only one in charge, or we're not the only ones that make decisions. And working smarter can be definitely great because we become more effective. But what if it's not about just working harder or working smarter, but it's about working wiser? And maybe working wisely contributes to saying, hey, I got to work hard and I got to work smart. When I work smarter and harder, I become wiser because I'm not just leaning to the one side. I'm actually tapping into my full capacity and potential, because now I get to say, okay, I'm supposed to work hard, and if I then work smarter as well by bringing on the systems and the teams, my multiplication is just going to get out of hand and work amazingly in my favor. I think that if we start processing this and realize that, okay, my goal as a leader is to balance both of those, and maybe tweak it along the way, because in certain seasons I'm going to have to be a little bit smarter, in another season work a little bit harder, but the goal is never to eliminate one or the other. The goal is to be able to have both of these working in your favor so you can become the best leader that you can be. I have a hunch and a thought here, and something that I've learned and even read from other leaders is that if you're going to learn how to work smarter, you probably need to work harder. And by working harder, it actually leads you to learn how to work smarter. See, when we work hard, we learn what not to do, what is working well. We learn a lot about ourselves. We learn a lot about other people. We learn about our companies and our projects, whatever we're working on. And that leads us and guides us and makes us wiser as we reflect and we learn from our experiences. We learn from other people's experiences, and we go, hey, this could be done better. This could be done well if we do it in this way. And so by working hard, it leads us to learn how to work smart. And so if you learn how to use each of them to say, oh, I see how this is actually helping me. And maybe when you're working smart and you have a system that's working, and you go, if we put some time and effort behind that system, actually it'll move along quicker in this season. So I'm going to work hard to making the system work even more effectively. And so the idea here is just that it's always kind of bothered me when I hear people like, well, you just gotta work smarter. And it's always the one side. You gotta work smarter, not harder. And I don't want to promote laziness. I don't want to promote the easy way out. I don't want to promote, that it's always going to be easier if you look at it from one perspective. I think that we're gonna face challenges in life. Life can be hard, and it's part of the journey that sometimes we're so focused on seeking the easy way out that we forget that actually there's something to be said about working hard. There's something rewarding about being able to say, hey, I put in some effort, I put in some time into this, and in that we learn that there is easier and better ways to do things, but they work in this amazing almost balance. They work in this synergy that makes us better. And so don't buy into this idea that it has to be only one way or the other. Bring it together and work wise. And sometimes we get caught up with this idea that is this right or is this wrong? And not everything has to be looked at from that lens of morality. Sometimes it's just like, hey, in the season I'm in today, what would be the wisest thing for me to do? And asking that question can revolutionize your life, because you start realizing, hey, when I was in this stage of my life, it was good for me to do it this way. Now that I'm in this stage or in this season of life, it's important for me to look at it from this perspective. But there's always space to bring both of those and bring them together and going, how does that look like for me right now? And so we end up then not only using our brains and our experiences and our minds, which are super important, but we also end up using the body that we've been given, and the time that we've been given, and the efforts that we can put into to work it together. And oh my goodness, maybe you're going to 10x your efforts, your projects, your life. Maybe you're going to move along a lot quicker, because you've decided to work hard in this season for a short period of time, and work smart as well, and you're going to get some results. Time is ticking. Time is ticking, and one thing we know for sure is none of us know how long we have on this earth. And so working wiser is an amazing way to make sure that we're being a good steward of our business, of whatever we are in charge of in our lives, to just say, okay, I don't want to just coast through life and just find the easy way out. I want to be able to maximize my life. I want to maximize my efforts, everything I'm doing, and I want to be able to do it well. I want to be able to end well. I want to be able to pass on. And then we start talking about legacy. We start talking about things we're going to leave behind. And in fact, I think that in that process, we end up impacting people in a way that we can never, truly, realize or track. But people do get impacted, and we become such a great example. And leadership is example, but then our influence just magnifies, and we get to actually change the world, and we get to impact our inner circles and those around us. And so I just wanted you to really think about that. I might be encouraging you, I might be challenging you. I just want you to think about it from a different perspective, that it's not as simple of just saying, hey, the people that work smarter are actually the wiser people, or the people that work harder are the wiser people. No, let's bring that together, and let's be wise people as we work smart and we work hard, and we see our efforts just actually impacting. Because it's not just about us reaching a goal or just doing a check mark off something we wanted to do. I think one of our truest callings as leaders is to help and impact people. And so if we can do that by, creating some systems that help us, you know, uh, expand our capacity, or be able to make us available in other areas that we would normally not be, allow us to delegate to other people and create more leaders. But it also allows us to put our efforts and our time into things that actually matter, and actually things that are going to grow, and things that are actually going to create impact. Oh my goodness, what a beautiful synergy that creates. And so as leaders, we need to think about it from a wider scope, so then we can have how can we have the greatest impact in whatever we're doing. And so I want to encourage you to work wiser. And in that, you will be able to learn how to be a hard worker, how to be a smart worker, and you're gonna create an impact. I have no doubt about that. And so I wanted to shoot you those thoughts. Let me know what you think. Give me some questions. Give me some perspectives. I have some more guests coming on to finish this year strong. But as we enter and go into 2025 and begin the new year, I mean, think about that. Create a challenge for yourself. Okay, how can I work smarter in certain areas, but how can I work harder as well? How do I become this rounded leader that is leading by example, and focusing on the things that matter and the things that are going to move your business, your project, your family forward, and make you a leader that is unstoppable. And so, be a wise leader. Continue doing the things that you're doing that are going to make you better. Remember, we're trying to grow. We're trying to learn. How can we learn from others? How can we teach others as well? How can we coach, mentor along the way, and just create a better culture and a better world, if I can say it that way. And my desire here, guys, is to help you be better and lead better, because I truly believe that it's a win-win when the leader leads well. There's so much great things that happen out of that. And so take that for now. I'll catch you on the next episode, and I'll see you then. Bye for now.